The IHSAA Champions Network welcomes you to yet another Indiana High School Sports Showcase event. Tonight it's high school basketball. On a Friday night, we're at Guerin Catholic High School in Noblesville as Guerin Catholic takes on Lawrence North. And the IHSAA Champions Network is sponsored by the Indiana Pacers and the Indiana Fever. The Indianapolis Colts. Go Colts. By Farmers Insurance Group. Auto, home, and life insurance. Get a free online quote at farmers.com. By Subway. Eat fresh. By Methodist Sports Medicine. Get back in the game. By Sharp Business Systems. Work without limits. And by Wilson Sporting Goods, the official ball of the IHSAA. Welcome courtside at home of the Golden Eagles, Guerin Catholic High School. Jerry Baker, Big Jan Bozier, and the rest of our IHSAATV.org crew. Jan, there's a lot of basketball going on around the state tonight. All kinds of games, north to south, but maybe none with more competitive atmosphere than this one tonight.
No question about it. These are the types of games that Coach Pete Smith just thrives on. Him and Coach Keefe are pretty close. You're looking at 5 state championships here on this court and an awful lot of wins.
This is my first trip to Guerin Catholic in the gymnasium. I can't believe that, but it is. What a terrific school this is. Very modern, very warm, very cordial.
Yeah, it really is. And, of course, I just live 5 minutes from here, Jerry, so I know a little more about it than you do. But let me tell you something. This will be an excellent game. Both teams undefeated, but really both of these teams need a really good opponent. And tonight, I think we're going to see really how good both these ball clubs are. And I really think the bench will come into play tonight.
Yeah, talked to Pete Smith. He said the very same thing, Chad. He said, we're not as good as we were a year ago, but we haven't played up to our ability, and we haven't played tough competition. They're going to find out tonight.
Lawrence North's pretty young. They only have 2 seniors. Guerin has 5.
Lawrence North is 4-0 on the year. Guerin Catholic comes in at 6-0. Guerin Catholic in Class 3A is ranked number 1 in the state of Indiana. It's going to be noisy inside the nest here tonight. The opening tip is controlled by Guerin Catholic. On a hurry, they get up court. Shot is off the edge of the rim and no good. And the rebound comes off to Lawrence North in a hurry. Kevin Easley, who averages just over 8 rebounds a game, gets his first one of this contest.
Jerry, both teams love to get up and down. They're averaging over 70. We're going to see some high-scoring offenses tonight.
Lawrence North in the dark uniforms, green trimmed in red and white. Of course, in the home whites tonight, Guerin Catholic. Wide open look out front. This is the guy they're going to have to keep an eye on. Number 25 in green, that's Pat Bacon, a 6 foot, 165-pound senior. He is really the offense for this Lawrence North team.
Yeah, averaging over 25 per ball game. Been very hot here recently. Guerin's going to have to keep their eye on him and know where he's at all times.
No scores so far. About 45 seconds gone of the first quarter of tonight's game. Good to have you along tonight on IHSAATV.org. As we have been throughout the season. The outside shot is good by Matt Holba. This is the guy that the other team's got to keep an eye on. Holba, that's only his 3rd three-pointer of the year, but he averages 17.3 points a game.
Guerin shoots the 3 ball very well, shooting over 40%. Year to date, Jerry, they'll when that 3's open, they'll not be afraid to take it.
Holba has led this team in scoring in every game this year. He has a double-double in every game so far. Double-figure scoring, double-figure rebounding. Pete Smith right down below us, patrolling the sideline. Here they come down the lane. An offensive foul is going to be called. It's going to be against Wesley Bender of Lawrence North, the first of the ball game on him, and the first against either ball club.
Well, that's what I talked about. I really think in this game tonight, both benches will come into play. Both these teams will be very physical, and foul trouble could be an issue.
Guerin Catholic has won over Indianapolis Heron, Hamilton Heights, Fort Wayne South, Broad Ripple, Northwest, and Muncie Central. Here's the shot that's off the mark, and the foul is going to be called on 13, and he fouled 13. The foul is going to be called on Jalen McKay, first of the game on the 6 foot, 170-pound junior. And his counter number 13, Christian Munson, 6'4" junior, goes to the line now for Guerin Catholic.
I didn't think there was a lot of contact on there. Coach Kiefer just kind of held his head low, never said much about it, but that was kind of a little ticky-tack foul that was called.
His ball club, as a unit, shoots 71% from the line, and this young man Christian Munson is shooting 84% from the line. He's good on the first 2 of 3, fouled in the act of shooting the three-point field goal. Got them all.
Well, free throws are always key, but in a game like tonight where you expect it to be close, they'll be huge.
Guerin sets up in a zone, kind of a three-quarter pressure zone. Deep left side, off the top of the rim, bounces once, bounces twice, move ball, jacked out of there by Matt Holba. Holba on the run, had it stolen away, lost it, picked back up by Guerin Catholic, off the mark with the shot that time by Alex Mazadowski. And here comes Lawrence North right back on the attack again. Here's Bacon swinging to the hoop, little underhanded layup off the mark, picked up by Lawrence North.
You have to love the offensive attack by Lawrence North, really hitting the glass here early.
Now it appears, Jan, they go in that zone three-quarter court press, and then they jump into a man-to-man.
Yeah, it's a 1-2-2. They'll try to pressure Lawrence North out front, but they'll ultimately want to get back in that man-to-man.
There is Bacon. This is the guy they're going to have to keep an eye on. Here's the ball knocked out of bounds at last touch by Wesley Bender. Lawrence North started off the season with a game at Howe against Detroit Cornerstone out of Michigan, beat them 91-66. They knocked off Marion 76-65, Lawrence Central 66-48, and a week ago they beat Brebeuf Jesuit at Brebeuf 59-51. And another foul. And it's going to be on Bender. And that'll be 2 on him, Jan. This is a 6'6", 220-pound guy that they're having to deal with out there right now in early foul trouble with only 3 minutes gone of the game.
Yeah, that plays right into Guerin's hand as well. They want to get to that free throw line because they shoot it pretty well.
Guerin Catholic with the ball. White uniforms, long-range shot. It looked good all the way and comes off the mark. The rebound taken down inside, put back up, and a foul is going to be called. And this time the foul goes on Kevin Easley. That'll be the first on him, and already, Jan, 4 fouls against Lawrence North.
Holba does a great job of ball fake, got the defender up in the air, used him really well, and got a foul and get a couple here. This is a good start for Guerin.
Holba has the only bucket in the game, a three-pointer. He misses the free throw. 70% shooter from the line. Matt is a 6'6" senior. He has played in all 6 of the games this year for head coach Pete Smith, who's in his 11th year here at Guerin, teaches actually at Carmel High School. Record here at Guerin is 146-62. Overall, some 24 years in the coaching ranks, 330 wins, 215 losses.
Wildcats need to get some offense here. As we talked about, only 2 seniors on this ball club. Pretty young.
Out of the point now, this is Easley. And so far, nothing's falling for the Wildcats.
And if Guerin can check out and allow just 1 shot, there's a turnover on Guerin, Jerry.
That's the first turnover of the game against either ball club. Guerin Catholic, first turnover. As Jan mentioned, Lawrence North averaging 73 points a game. Guerin Catholic averaging 73.3. Not much difference there, bud.
No, but that tells you they love to get up and down the court. Rarely do we go do a game where both teams are in the 70s.
And their defense is about the same also. 57.5 for Lawrence North, 52.8 for Guerin Catholic. So they'll score a lot, but they're also going to let you score on them.
Lawrence North really starting their offense out high and having to put a lot of energy to try to get it closer.
They do get it inside. The shot is blocked. Good defensive play turned in that time by Alex Mazadowski. He leads, he's second on the ball club in block shots with 6. Matt Holba leads the club in blocks with 10. Now the fast break, and that might not have been a bad foul because they had a 2-on-1 advantage on the break.
No, that you make a good point there. That's actually an excellent foul because that would have been for a sure easy layup for Lawrence North. And I think Coach Kiefer was really thinking about a timeout had not something positive happened for Lawrence North.
The foul was on Godfrey, Matthews' first of the game. And Lawrence North will inbounds right in front of the Guerin Catholic cheering section. And we've got a situation here with Godfrey I think we got a full timeout, so we'll take a timeout and check out the situation on the IHSAA Champions Network.
It's easy to buy insurance and forget about it. But the more you learn about your coverage, the more gaps you might find. Like how you thought you were covered for this.
Check it out, Mom.
When you're really only covered for this. Or how you figured you're covered for this when you're actually paying for this. You might be surprised at what's hiding in your coverage. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are Farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
To speak with a Farmers agent in your community, call 888-96.
A little patchwork to do on one of the Guerin Catholic players, Matthew Godfrey, who committed that last foul, and he's been dinged up a little bit on the left elbow, so they put a patch on it, and he's going to be in the game. And if you call the timeout, Jan, it's okay to leave him in there.
Yeah, and ultimately, I think that's a good timeout for Lawrence North. They were just not getting a lot of movement in their offense. What they want to do, Jerry, is get transition buckets. And right now, Guerin's doing a pretty good job of getting back.
I'm interested to see how this Lawrence North Ball Club works, Dan, because you pointed out Cushingberry, one of the starters, is only a freshman. McKay's a junior. Bacon is a senior, of course. And then Easley is a freshman, and Wet Bender's a junior. So they're starting two freshmen on this ball club. 7-0. They've scored not yet in this game. A push out inside. No foul called. The rebound off into the hands of Guerin Catholic's Matt Lavis.
A lot of contact in the middle there.
5 minutes gone. Opening quarter of play. So far it's been all Guerin Catholic offensively anyway. Here's a steal at the midcourt line. They get it up court into the hands of Cushingberry, and he got it.
Yeah, this is, as I talked about, this is Lawrence North's offense. Transition.
So they went 5 minutes and 20 seconds, Jan, of the first quarter without getting anything on the scoreboard.
Well, their guards are good, and they'll put pressure out front on Guerin.
2.5 to go. Lobbed inside. Blocked beautifully on that baseline down there by Jalen McKay.
Yeah, McKay comes from the backside, reads that very well. Good switch underneath. Good help side defense by LM. They're somewhat playing a man-to-man, Jerry, but they're sagging a little bit. Almost looks like a zone, but it's really a sagging man-to-man.
They'll take the shot deep in the corner. It's a three-point field goal. Matthew Godfrey. And that's only the second field goal for Guerin Catholic, both of which have been threes. First points of the night for Godfrey, and it's 10-2. 8-point lead, biggest of the ball game for either ball club. Down to the final 2 minutes of the opening period.
Well, when Guerin can make half-court shots, that allows them to get back on defense. And believe it or not, that's a big key for Guerin here tonight.
Cushingberry got it inside. The shot is missed that time by McKay. Put back up, now on the floor. The battle ensues, and is coming out of there with it in the hands of Jalen McKay. And McKay's got the three. (10-5) ball game. Long range three, nothing doing. On the floor, picked up by Lawrence North. They have numbers on the break. Now suddenly Guerin gets back defensively with 1:15 to go in the opening quarter.
Well, Lawrence North didn't panic. If they can get something here, they're right back where they need to be, Jerry.
Bacon misses. The rebound comes off to Easley. Easley has it blocked, puts it back up again, and off it comes into the hands of Holba.
But you have to like the way Easley's hitting the offensive boards.
Munson getting it inside, and a blocking foul called against Lawrence North. Nope, they're going to call it the other way.
Well, I think that's a good call. He was out of control, and I always like it when the officials don't bail out a player when they're a little bit out of control, and I felt like Guerin was that time.
It's on Munson. That is the first on Christian, and the second against Guerin, with 58.3 to go here in the first quarter.
First quarter's been flying by.
Yes.
Bad pass.
In for the layup, and a slam dunk by Matt Holba.
Yeah, that brings this big crowd to life.
Holba now with 6 of the 12 points on the board for Guerin Catholic. Again, this is a ball club ranked number 1 in the state of Indiana in Class 3A. And the basket will not count if it goes, and the foul is going to be called against Guerin. And the foul is going to be called against Matt Labus. That'll be the first on him.
Jerry, we talked about, before we came on the air, the strength of schedule for Guerin. This is not anything unusual for Coach Pete Smith. His schedule is packed full of 4A and teams bigger than him.
Brian Matthews comes in as a sub now for Guerin Catholic. Here's the long-range 3 by Bacon. Nothing doing inside. Holbeck rips out that rebound. He is averaging almost 13 rebounds a game, 12.8 and 17.3 points. He has been the offense.
And I like Holbeck because he's above the rim most of the time.
And here is Godfrey getting his second bucket. It also is a 3-point field goal. And with 9.1 to go, Jack wants a timeout, a 30-second timeout. Guerin Catholic in the rankings this week, we mentioned the Associated Press has them number 1. They rank them by divisions, classes, 4 of them. The basketball coaches rank every team in the state, Jan, in one bracket. And they've got Guerin Catholic number 8 in the state. That's pretty impressive stuff, buddy.
Well, they're good, no doubt about it, Jerry. Right now, they're lighting it up. Right now, from the field, Guerin is 4 of 9, 44%. Free throws 4 of 5 for 80%. For Lawrence North, just 2 of 16 shooting, 13%. 1 of 9 from 2s and 1 of 7 from 3s. So Lawrence North struggling a little bit.
Yeah, they really are. Lawrence North was not ranked either by the AP or the IBCA, the basketball coaches, the preseason. Currently, the Associated Press has them ranked number 16 in 4A, and the basketball coaches likewise have them number 16 in that single class format. 9.1 seconds to go in the opening quarter. LN in a hurry to get it across the timeline. Bacon gets it inside. Fall-away shots way off the mark. Rebound taken down by Lawrence North. No shot available. That's the end of one. And it's been all Guerin Catholic. After one, 15-5. Guerin Catholic over Lawrence North on the IHSAA Champions Network.
Are you a fan of exciting action, great sporting atmosphere, and good displays of sportsmanship?
I am definitely a fan.
High school sports, pure spirit, pure sport, pure entertainment value. Are you a fan of amazing spirit, incredible drama, and affordable ticket prices?
I'm definitely a fan.
High school sports, pure spirit, pure sport, pure entertainment value.
We welcome you back to the nest at Guerin Catholic High School. This is a standing room only crowd tonight, Jan. Good attendance tonight.
Oh, they have great attendance here at Guerin. Always a great atmosphere. Of course, it doesn't hurt when you got a pretty good ball club out there as well.
Now you got a product you can sell right here.
Right now, LN not shooting the ball very well at all, Jerry. Shooting just 12% from 2-point range.
They've had some looks, Jan, but I can't say that a lot of them were real good looks either. They've had a lot of pressure on them.
They're having to work for everything, and that's a plus for Guerin.
Well, it's a good-looking pass that time from Cushingberry down to the corner. And the foul will be against. I didn't catch who the foul was on, Jan. They haven't flashed it upstairs just yet. Okay, the foul is going to be, the free throw is off the mark by Lawrence North. The foul was on Schneider. That'll be the first of the ball game on him.
Well, one thing LN's doing very well is they're crashing the boards. Here's the bucket they're looking for.
That's Bacon, and it's blocked from behind by Labus. Picked up by Lawrence North again. Out to Cushingberry. That's Cushingberry, number 2, running the point now. On the left wing, he's got Ethan Jarrett, who's in the lineup, off the bench now for Jack Kiefer.
Well, Holba really timed that block well. What I like about Holba, he's always playing above the rim, Jerry. Very lengthy young man.
Again, here's Bacon. He's being defensed down there by Labus. Getting inside, off the mark, no good. Matt comes off with the Holba comes off with the rebound. Long range look by Schneider.
I talked about their love of the three, and they shoot it very well, and they're just under control. And for me, that's the key right now. Guerin shooting those threes in the offense and under control.
And they're shooting 45% of the year on the season from the three-point area. That is fantastic. 6.5 to go, second quarter, 18-7. It's the biggest lead of the ball game now for Guerin. Long-range shot, got it deep, baseline left side. And that is
Gilbert, I think.
Yeah, Deion Gilbert, yeah.
He's came in and really helped. He's added 5 off the bench for LN, Jerry.
So it's 6:04 to go now here in the first half of this game. 18-10 to lead. It got to 11. So far this game, LN has not found itself with the top score on the scoreboard. Here's a foul on Guerin's Matt Labus. That'll be 2 on him.
Well, Holba's really starting to cause some issues inside for LN. They're trying to double team him. He made an excellent move that time, put the ball on the floor, found a little opening, and they didn't adjust quickly enough. And got another foul.
Well, the inbounds pass now. And here comes Guerin again. Well, they've had a nice season athletically, football-wise, now in basketball. Ranked number 1 in the state, as we mentioned. Long rebound picked off by Labus. Sets it back up again to Godfrey at the point on the right side. He's only a sophomore. Again, a lot of youngsters playing on these varsity teams this year.
Defensive adjustment by LN. Went to the 2-3 zone to try to stop Holba inside, Jerry.
Munson on the offensive rebound. They're looking inside to Holba. And Holba sneaks down to the corner baseline left side. Holba, nice looking pass inside. Wouldn't roll, wouldn't fall. Rebound comes off into the hands of LN. Ethan Jarrett got it up court. It is blocked from behind again by Matt Holba. And now a foul. Holba's everywhere.
Yeah, he's just a natural shot blocker. It doesn't hurt the fact that his head almost hits the rim when he jumps. But, you know, for a good shot blocker, and I happen to like those, timing is everything.
Foul is on Alex Masanowski, the 6'4" senior. His first of the game. Free throw goes straight up in the air and comes down in and good for one of the other subs now, Rapidi.
But I'm telling you right now, a big plus for Lawrence North is their ability to hit the offense of the glass. If it weren't for that, this game would really start to be lopsided.
Rapidi, sophomore, got both. Spells his name, R.A.'s the first name, K-P-E-D-I, second name, 6'8", 190. Now a foul called against Lawrence North at the other end.
Well, nobody stops the ball. That's a defensive mistake by Lawrence North. If you're going to play a zone, the guards have got to stop ball, and they did not. And Holba just goes right down the middle, and something positive is going to happen when he gets in the paint.
That's Deion Gilbert getting the personal foul. 2 on him, and Holba goes to the line where he's 1 out of 2 tonight.
Really pretty shot. Good rotation on the ball.
Just thinking the same thing, Jan. He really looks smooth at the free throw line. Holba's a Lehigh recruit, going to Lehigh. 8 points in the ball game for him. He was an Indiana Junior All-Star last year, and you can see why.
Yeah, a lot of high expectations for him coming into this year, but he's getting a lot of good solid help as well on this season.
The lead is 9. It's been 11 with 4:49 to go. Guerin Catholic in the white uniforms in the dark green, and they throw it away, the Lawrence North Wildcats.
That's just good defense by Guerin. For me, right now, the difference in this ball game, as well as Guerin shooting the basketball, their defense has been stellar.
Lawrence North a year ago was only 12-9. They lost to Tech 82-52 in the opening game of the sectional. Of course, Tech went on to win the 4A state championship. Jack's had some great success at Lawrence North over the years. 3 green shirts, and we got the 3 to choose from for a foul. We'll see where the refs decide to go. Going to be on 52. That'll be Petty again.
Coach Pete Smith's really going to like that. You love it when your team makes that little extra pass, Jerry. He was wide open with about the 7-footer, but found a better shot at 2 feet.
First free throw is good. David George, Kurt Sudling, and Ken Washam are the officials for tonight's game. Levis getting his first points of the game, averages 5.3 points a game and 3.7 rebounds. 3 out of 4 from the free throw line coming into tonight's game. He got 1 of 2, and the rebound falls into the hands of Kevin Easley. 4:25 first half.
Lawrence North really needs some offense here. Most of their shot now has come from the outside perimeter, and here's another one. Got it.
Good looking shot that time by Jarrett off the bench.
Coach Kiefer has to like that. His bench is starting to give him some good help.
Yep, you're right. Jarrett's been in there now. Petty has been in. Dion Gilbert out on the court, so they've gone to the bench early and often. Halfway through the second quarter. Baseline, left side, just inside the three-point marker is Snyder. He has 5 points off the bench, and that's his average per game this year.
Yeah, Snyder I like because he's always looking at the basket when he gets the ball. And he's making defense, hey, if you don't guard me, I'm going to shoot it.
10-point differential, 23-13, 3:44 to go here in the first half. Tonight's IHSAA.TV.org Friday basketball game of the week. Long range again, this time short. Chased down to the far side, knocked out of bounds, belongs, I believe, to Guerin Catholic, and it will be.
Great hustle by Jarrett, number 15 for Lawrence North. Went out on Lawrence North. Now Guerin's got another opportunity to add to this lead.
This Guerin Catholic ball club had a nice year last year. They were 22-4. They lost to Greensburg 74-67 in the semi-state. That was a very, very good Greensburg ball club a year ago.
Yes, it was.
And a foul shoving off inside. And the foul will be against Guerin Catholic's. Well, he held up 2 fingers. Did he mean 20, I believe? Yes, Snyder with his second foul.
Yeah, that's a big foul. Just talked about his offense, and now that offense going to sit down.
Yep. Now Mazdanowski comes back onto the court for the Golden Eagles. Head coach Pete Smith, graduate of Rochester High and Bethel College. He was the boys basketball coach, varsity coach at Carmel from 1998 to 2002. Also coached at Penn and Noblesville and Manchester. Long range 3 is good by Cushingberry. So he has 5 now. And that chops it back a little bit, Jan, into a playable situation. Down to 7 from 11. Pull up shot, right side Holba. Long rebound, near side Godfrey. Outside to Holba again, pull up 15-footer, got it.
He just gets out, he elevates so well, Jerry. You cannot give him that shot.
6'6" senior, averaging 17-3, already with 10 points in the first half of tonight's game. 2:25 to go in the half.
Now all of a sudden LN's not getting the offensive glass like they were early.
This is Munson.
Good rebound.
Oh, you betcha. Petty comes off with the rebound. And again, they get it into the hands of Cushingberry, only a freshman at 5'9", 150 pounds. Here's Jarrett. Now they get it inside, the foul from behind, the basket is good, and the foul's going to be on Mazdanowski. That'll be 2 on him.
Well, Lawrence North makes the little extra pass, and they're going to get rewarded for it. Much better movement, I thought, that time by Lawrence North with backside movement, and that time they get a layup and the and one possibility here.
Well, you're right, Dan. Petty's done a nice job coming off the bench, the sophomore. And he'll be at the line where he is 2 out of 2 tonight. So 5 points now for Petty. With 2 minutes right on the money to go here in the first half. 25-19, they've cut the 11-point lead down to 6. Kalen Cunningham is on the court now for Guerin Catholic. They turn it over, and Lawrence North's got it again.
Big possession by LN.
Knocked away, and I believe last touch by Guerin, so LN will have the ball under their own hoop. You know, you really shouldn't be surprised, Jan. This Guerin Catholic JV team last year was 17-1 And that'll transfer to your varsity.
Especially in a smaller school.
Yeah, the school, Guerin Catholic, 748 students. Lawrence North, 2,331. Quite a differential there.
Yes, it is.
25-19 with a minute 25 to go in the half.
Big possession for Guerin. They've not scored the last couple times down. Guerin just 3 for 10 in this period. Let's give a lot of credit, Jerry, to Lawrence North. I think their defense has stepped up, I'm not sure, in the second period.
I agree. McKay with the foul now for Lawrence North. Jalen with his second. Jan, I'm looking down the list here of Guerin Catholic fouls. Schneider, Labus, and Mazanowski. 2 of the 3 are starters, each with 2 fouls.
Yeah, and we talked about in the opening, really felt like we would see what each team's bench was, because I really felt like there would be some fouls that would occur because both teams just play so physical.
Well, the pace has been breakneck. And 1 out of 2 that time for Munson from the free throw line. And with a minute 10 to go in the first half, 26-19 your score. Long 3. Got it. Good looking shot that time by Cushingberry.
Yeah, that's 2 threes in this period. He's been a big lift. You start to say as a coach, do we need that shot? Yes, we do. You just made it.
Cunningham, a 6'2 junior, off the bench now for head coach Pete Smith. 45 seconds to go in the quarter.
Kiefer's boys have just kept battling.
Yep.
They got it down to within 4, and that's not a good shot.
Deep in the corner, right side, got his own rebound that time, did Godfrey. Now here comes Lawrence North. They bobble the ball right at the timeline, get it across the line. Here's Cushingberry again. Now they swing down deep left corner. Inside, feeds off right side. That's Bacon. And he got it.
Great ball movement by the Wildcats.
Bacon getting his first 2 points of the game. We mentioned he is their leading scorer with a 27-point-a-game average.
Yeah, he's been quiet. Guerin's really been doubling when he's down.
2-point ball game right now with another turnover. Lawrence North can tie for the first time or take the lead for the first time. And a timeout called quickly by Lawrence North. And a 30-second timeout, so we stay right here. 2.1 second to go here in the first half. When we get to halftime, we'll take a little break, and then Brian Hammonds will be with us to talk a little golf at halftime. Jan, a nice comeback by LN.
Well, the first period was truly all Guerin. Shot selection was good. Defense was good. But I really felt like the pressure of LN slowly but surely was taking its toll on Guerin. And this second period, their defense has really turned into some better offense.
Well, they were taking not bad shots, but contested shots, they being Lawrence North, to start out this ball game. And they appeared to settle down about, 2 minutes into the second quarter.
No, you make a good point. I really feel like their movement in the second period, those back cuts and just really good motion, really got them some good shots.
Now we got a chance to watch LN work on this final 2.1, see what Jack's got up his sleeve, and if anybody has a bag of tricks, it would be Jack after some 43 years doing this.
Number 3 all-time winningest coach in Indiana.
They get it in. Here is the shot, just short. Put back up is no good either. They had a good look at it that time from Antoine Cushingberry, who shot him back into this game in the second quarter. So it's a 26-24 ball game at halftime. The teams head to the locker room. We head to a break, and as I mentioned, Brian Hammonds of Golf Channel will join us. We'll chat with him in a couple of minutes. We take the break. 2-point ball game. Guerin Catholic 26, Lawrence North 24 on the IHSAA Champions Network.
Colts ball at their own 36.
You want a playoff atmosphere? I got you one right here.
First down, Luck out of the gun again. Andrew takes the snap. Sets up, looks. He's going to throw one way downfield. It's T.Y. He's got it! He's going to score! He's going to score! He's going to score! The Colts have tied it! Oh my God! On a 64-yard pass play from Andrew Luck to T.Y. Hilton. It's 44.
We're back now at halftime and away of a first half of basketball here at Guerin Catholic High School, a 26-24 ball game. It was 15-5 after the first period. Guerin on top. They led by as many as 11. Pretty well had the game in command, and all of a sudden, Elliott comes storming back to make it a 2-point ball game. In fact, had a shot in the air at the buzzer. At halftime, from Golf Channel, Ryan Hammonds. The one job in the country that I'm still trying to get, so you need to know that I send in my tape every 3 weeks.
I'm telling you, it's been a really good job. I won't make any bones about it. It's been a great gig.
Brian's been with Golf Channel now for...
Well, our 20th anniversary at the Golf Channel is coming up next month.
My goodness.
I know.
Has it been that long?
Yeah. January 17th, 1995, we signed on the air.
I recall when that first went on, Arnold Palmer was a big part of that.
Absolutely.
I don't know if he's still got any financial interest. Anyway, a lot of folks around the country knew there was a lot of golf fans out there, but a lot of people, Brian, said, you've got to be kidding. Golf 24 hours a day? But it's worked.
You know what? And the only reason, one of the main reasons why I took the plunge and took the risk, really, was because Arnold Palmer was involved. Because without Arnie's involvement, and he was one of our founders and our chairman, it wouldn't have worked. But Arnie, you know, he brought instant credibility to the golf channel.
Absolutely. Actually, Brian, more than the financial aspect of it from his particular standpoint.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no question. And, you know, the hardest part for a new cable network is to get carried on cable systems. Well, when Arnold Palmer calls the president of Time Warner Cable and says, hey, do you want to go play golf? You got a pretty good in.
and I have had the pleasure of meeting Arnold on a couple of occasions, and he's the kind of a guy that if he asks you to do something, it's
hard to say no, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't say no to the guy, for crying out loud. So when in the early days, was Arnold around the facility at all?
Yeah, he had an office and he had a parking place, and you know, you'd see him in the office from time to time. He wasn't there every day.
Yeah.
But when he showed up, you could tell there was a buzz in the building, you know, and there was a strict hands-off policy for people. As far it wasn't from him because he was so accommodating, but you know, he didn't. Our president didn't want people coming up and asking for autographs all day long. But he is a true American hero and one of the greatest people you will ever meet.
Just a quick story. I stayed at the golf, at Bay Hill. Mm-hmm. A bunch of us went down there. We actually stayed on the property, played golf, met Arnold the day before. Next morning, we're at breakfast, and he comes in to have breakfast, and he comes right to the table and says, you know, how you guys doing? Do you have a good time? Everything okay? And I'm thinking to myself, how many multi-gazillionaires who own a facility like that would take the time to do something like that?
If you go to Bay Hill today, you'll probably find him playing in the shootout every afternoon. I mean, the guy, he has 100 clubs in his bag, which he's always done. The 14 club rule just doesn't quite fit him. But and he'll play in that thing just about every day.
Well, let me ask you about yourself now. And I guess the question arises, okay, Brian's from the Golf Channel. What's he doing at Guerin Catholic on a Friday night?
Well, we lived in Orlando for 14 years when the Golf Channel started, and I was doing the studio show there. And then I started doing all play-by-play. And I asked him, I said, can I live anywhere I want? And they said, yeah, go ahead. So we moved home. We moved back here, and they look at you kind of funny in Florida when you move to Indiana because you want to. But this is obviously a great place to live, and I have I've had a son, or I have a son that went through Guerin Catholic. He's a sophomore at Indiana University now. I have two daughters here. A junior that plays lacrosse and a freshman that plays basketball. So it's a great school, and we love coming here. And I'm a little disappointed at the end of the first half here.
I may mention to Jan, who's working alongside me, that I've come out and done football games here, and I've seen you working with the football people from time to time, but I had not been inside the school. It's amazing that I haven't over all these years, but I was absolutely amazed at the terrific facilities you guys have got here.
Great facilities, great teachers, terrific student body. I mean, everything about this school we have really loved from day one. My son started here, so it's a terrific school and a really good basketball team. I mean, it's amazing to me how Pete could lose his the leading scorer and the leading assist man. From last year, I mean, all-time leading scorer and all-time leading assist man from last year's squad, and he comes back and has the #1 ranked team in the state. Matt Holba's obviously a very talented player, but
well, Pete's been down this road a couple of times.
He has, and he's a great coach for this school.
And
you know,
a good ambassador for the school.
You talk about another guy, Jack Kiefer, who's the only coach that Lawrence North has ever had. And in fact, my company has a show called Hoosier Legends. And Jack Kiefer's the subject of one of our upcoming shows.
Great.
It's a very interesting guy, and what a career he's had.
He's just, it's so unusual for a guy to be at a school that long and still be enthused about the game. I talked to him before the game, very excited about this.
That's the thing that's amazing to me, is that he still has the passion to coach and coach as hard as he does every day. He's 72 years old. So that's tough.
So what you were telling me, you have a son who's a sophomore at IU. You have two daughters who are here at Guerin Catholic.
Correct.
So you're going to be working the Golf Channel for a while.
Yeah, I won't be a snowbird anytime soon, unfortunately, because these winters, you know, every now and then I ask myself, and I did move back from Florida, right?
All right, now you last time I saw you were down in Mississippi. What's next on your schedule?
Probably get the season started in mid-January on the Champions Tour in Hawaii, and then I really don't go full bore.
Hawaii?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's a good place to go in January.
And then what?
And then I don't. You know, then I get a slow start to the season. Then I just get hammered. It's like I'm going every week starting in spring. So. I'm enjoying the short off season, although golf really doesn't have an off season.
Does it beat working?
Oh, no question.
Okay.
There's no question. I'm not complaining.
I wanted to know, because if they ever accept my audition tape down there.
I don't know why. I don't know. I'm sure it's been lost in the mail, Dave. I don't know why they didn't call you.
Brian, always a pleasure to see you and your wife, and congratulations on a terrific job down there. You know, when you went down, I thought, man, what a great gig this is going to be, and you've turned it into something very special. And the guys said, when I played in your tournament at Anderson 2 years ago, the fellows that I met from Golf Channel, just terrific people.
Yeah, it's a great time, and my buddies ask me, you know, you never go on any golf vacations with us. I said, I have 30 of them a year. Are you kidding me?
Right. Listen, thanks again, my friend. It's always a pleasure to see you, and we'll run into each other on down the way.
I hope so. Good to see you, Bake.
Brian Hammonds of Golf Channel, our special guest at halftime. Again, your halftime score, 26-24. Lawrence North coming storming back, making it a 2-point ball game. We'll pause for a moment, come back with the second half tip-off of the IHSAA Champions Network. Thank you, buddy.
It's easy to buy insurance and forget about it. But the more you learn about your coverage, the more gaps you might find. Like how you thought you were covered for this.
Check it out, Mom.
When you're really only covered for this. Or how you figured you're covered for this when you're actually paying for this. You might be surprised at what's hiding in your coverage. Talk to Farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are Farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
To speak with a Farmers agent in your community, call 888-96.
All right, thanks to Brian for stopping by. I tried to talk him out of some free golf equipment and stuff like that, and he just, apparently our microphone went dead.
The word free, and all of a sudden it went dead, Jerry.
Yeah, I don't know how that happens sometimes. 2-point ball game at halftime with Guerin Catholic up by 2, Jam. But I would imagine Pete had some serious things to say at halftime in that Guerin Catholic locker room.
Yeah, I would agree. I think in that second period, they kind of went away from what got in that big lead. And let's give Lawrence North a lot of credit. I thought their aggressiveness, especially on the offensive glass, was very good. They had 7 offensive rebounds in that first half. Both teams playing pretty good pressure defense, and now both teams are shooting in the 30s, Jerry. Guerin shooting about 36%. Lawrence North shooting 31% from the field. So the defenses have really caused some havoc on the shot selections.
If I'm Lawrence North, Jan, am I a little concerned about Pat Bacon? He is the guy we highlighted at the outset of our telecast with 27 points a game. He did not score to the latter minute or so of the first half. He only has 2 points.
Well, I think if you're Lawrence North, you go, wow, he only scored 2 and we're only down 2. Yeah. So if he lights it up here in the second half, I got to feel pretty good right now if I'm Lawrence North.
That's a very good point. You betcha. All right, second half ready to go now. Guerin Catholic again in white. Lawrence North in the traveling green uniforms. Guerin will get the ball to begin the second half. Again, their lead at one point was 11 in the first half of this game. Backdoor cut, driving layup. Oh, it's a beauty. And Munson gets his first bucket of the second half, a half a dozen on the night.
Yeah, that's a Pete Smith special. He's ran that play forever out of the timeout or out of halftime. You've got to watch for that. They used to call it North Carolina backdoor.
So Lawrence North down by 4. Second half just getting underway. Hard to find. Here's one of the guys that got him back in the game, and he's going to keep doing so. Antoine Cushingberry, a three-pointer. Jenny has 4 field goals, 3 of which have been three-pointers. 28-27, that chops the lead to 1. Here is Holba. On the left wing, down deep in the corner. Left-handed shot is nothing but net for Matthew Godfrey.
That's 3 of those for him. He's really helped Guerin stay in this ball game with his outside shooting.
He did not score in the second quarter. Had a pair of threes in the opening 8 minutes. A minute gone, second half. Again, Cushingberry. Well, for a freshman, he plays with a very steady head.
Yes, he does. A lot of these young guys out here, you can't be freshmen very long and play at this level. And I think that equates a little bit of LN's slow start as the young guys really understanding how to come out of the gate good.
Open look, here's Bacon outside. Too hard, rebound off into the hands of Munson. Well, Bacon just can't buy one right now. Inside, Munson fouled as he goes to the hoop.
Yeah, Munson gets called with the reach in. A lot of hands that time.
That foul is on Jalen McKay. They're one of their starters, one of their starting guards who leads the team in assists and steals, and that's 3 on him. Nice ball movement.
Yeah, and I think both teams had to talk about halftime. Guys, a lot of length out here. Some tall guys. You can't go in the trees and force it and just hope it goes in. Shot selection will be key here in the second half.
4-point ball game, 31-27. 2 minutes gone here in the third. Carmel in a bit of a slowdown now. The pace in the first 8 minutes of this ball game was hectic, up and down. And it worked in the favor of Guerin Catholic.
LN playing a little 2-3 zone here. Kiefer really switching defenses throughout this game.
They got it down baseline. That's where the tall timber is. They finally clear it back out to the near side to Holba. He goes inside. Good looking pass. Now they swing it back out long range, and the shot is off the mark that time by Godfrey.
Well, it was good patience, I felt like, for Guerin. Dangerous pass that made it through. They still got a great shot out of Godfrey. This will stay here at Guerin's end. Coach Kiefer discussing this one a little bit.
I'm not sure what the issue is, to be honest. Jack is not very happy about it. Whatever
he feels like it clearly went off of Guerin, and the officiating crew did not agree with him. Oh, great pressure defense.
Here's Bacon on the break, going inside one-on-one, had it blocked away, but a foul is going to be called now. The Lawrence North bench wants goaltending. I don't think they're going to get that.
No, I wouldn't agree with goaltending, but what I do like is, you know what, Bacon, if you're not shooting the ball real well, get after it. And I really felt like he made a great defensive stand down there and then led the transition. Every night's not going to be your shooting night, but you can certainly do a lot of things. Felt like he made a great decision there.
So Bacon's at the line, short arms that one. Pat Bacon, 6 foot 165 and a senior with only 2 points, averaging 27 points and just under 5 rebounds per game. He is third on the club in assists and third on the club in steals, and they've got to get him in the scoring column somehow. 31-28.
Well, just 50% free throw shooting, 3 for 6 for LN. Not a big stat yet, but they've got to pick that percentage up.
5:15 to go. They got it off on the left side and the weak side, and Holba slams it home, and I've got him with a dozen right now.
Well, they're always looking for him, and he's looking for them. He's just an all-around really nice player. I really like him.
Holba with 12, Godfrey with 9. They only had 4 of their starters score in the first half. They dish it off on the near side. Good-looking play to Wesley Bender.
Yeah, Bender moving without the ball as well. Much better offense for LN here through the second and now third period.
He is one of the starters that did not score in the first half for LN. Those were his first 2 points of the game. 33-30 with 4:35 to go. Guerin Catholic with the ball and the lead. Well, they're not afraid to throw that ball across the court, are they, Jam?
Well,
from one side to the other.
Holba's like a skyscraper. He can see over everybody. And you kind of get him, but everybody else, you'd be a little careful.
I'll tell you, this defense for LN has picked up considerably. That time, a good play defensively by Jalen McKay. He is the leader, as I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, in steals with 11 coming into tonight's game.
Oh, great touch. Outstanding movement without the basketball. LN, and there he is again. Bacon doing a nice job. He's not shot the ball really well, as we talked about, but now all of a sudden I think Coach Kiefer got his ear at halftime. Guy, you got to move without the basketball. It's no mystery. You're a good shooter. They're going to defend you. Move, and he's really moving well.
That's Mazdanoski's third personal foul, by the way. Bacon misses the free throw.
Yeah, just now three. Lawrence North now 3 for 7 from the free throw line, Jerry.
1 point ball game, 33-32, 4 minutes, 5 seconds to go, third quarter of play. Well, that defense is kind of suffocating this offense of Guerin right now.
Well, what Coach Kiefer's doing is he keeps changing up defense, and if you're not aware offensively, you hesitate. And if you can get a team to hesitate a little bit, that's a good defensive stand. He's going back from that 2-3 zone to the man-to-man.
Lawrence North statistically is number 22 in the state of Indiana. Offensively, here is Bacon on the layup. Got it.
Yeah, Bacon's just flat out flying right now. Jerry, the transition game has got LN back in this ball game.
That's the first lead change of the game, and we'll take a timeout with 3:56 to go on the IHSAA Champions Network.
Colts ball at their own 36.
You want a playoff atmosphere? I got you one right here.
First down, Luck out of the gun again. Andrew takes the snap. Sets up, looks. He's going to throw one way downfield. It's T.Y. He's got it! He's going to score! He's going to score! He's going to score! The Colts have tied it! Oh, my God! On a 64-yard pass play from Andrew Luck to T.Y. Hilton. It's 44.
Foolish, you haven't missed anything. They took a 30 instead of a 60, and now here's a foul. And the foul's on Cushingberry. That's only his first of the game. And that'll send Nick Schneider to the line for the first time tonight.
Jerry, LN, after a slow start, 2 of 17, is now 11 for 18. And a lot of that is because of transition.
First lead change of the game just a moment ago gave Lawrence North the 1 point margin. Now we're tied at 34. Schneider will try to untie it. These are his first free throws, by the way, of the season. And he does get them both. And another lead change.
Guerin 10 for 13, Jerry. That's really kept them in this ball game with very good free throw shooting.
Now Guerin set up in a 2-3 zone. And they'll try to shoot over it, and it's an air ball that just caught the bottom of the backboard. Now a loose ball. It'll be out of bounds and last touched by Guerin. This is exactly, Jan, the kind of game I thought we were going to have tonight.
No question about it. Guerin really got off to a good start. LN not so much, but LN's pressure defense and now transition has got us the game. You're right. I really felt like this was going to be nip and tuck all night long.
Brian mentioned at halftime that Guerin lost Aaron Brennan, the school's all-time leading scorer, and they lost Whit Rapp, school's all-time leading assist man. So Pete's done a nice job putting this all back together again. 35-34 now, 1 point lead for Guerin. They get the steal. No numbers on the break, but they'll get the layup, and it's blocked beautifully inside by Kevin Easley, a freshman.
Yeah, it was a great block, but LN didn't hit the boards. Guerin comes back away with it.
So here we go with Godfrey running the ball club from the point, almost stolen away again. And here is Godfrey getting inside.
I'm telling you right now, Jarrett is lightning quick.
He is, isn't he?
Oh, man, those hands are lethal weapons. He can move them.
Number 15 we're talking about playing one-on-one right now on Matthew Godfrey, who has 9 points in the game.
I would not want to play him. He has got incredibly quick hands.
They come out to Holba. Holba gets inside for the almost uncontested layup, and 14 points now for the 6'6 senior.
Well, he's not seen the ball a lot here in the third period. They've got to find him down the court. If I'm Coach Pete Smith, I want the ball in his hands at least every other time down the court.
Inside, the ball free for just a moment. And now a held ball. And the possession arrow will keep it into the hands of Lawrence North. Substitution now for LN. This is Dion Gilbert coming back out onto the court. Lawrence North's Jack Keeper, head coach at Frankfurt and Oak Hill, 2007 inducted into the Indiana Basketball Hall of Fame, as Jan mentioned, number 3 on the state's active coaches wins list behind Pat Rady and Bill Patrick, and also number 3 all-time behind Jack Butcher and Pat Rady. Graduate of Marion High, Ball State University, had a master's degree down at IU. Known Jack forever. He's been at Lawrence North for 39 years, and that's as long as the school's been in existence.
Yeah, he's the third winningest active coach right now. He's not real far behind number 2 and number 1.
So we're down to the final 2 minutes and 5 seconds of the third quarter. Here's Bacon deep in the left corner. Defense for Carmel still set up in that zone right now. And they've got big Matt Holba in the middle. There he is right there. But they managed to get it outside. Here is Bacon. And the rebound snared off inside by Munson, who averages 3 rebounds a game. 3-point ball game with 1:40 to go here in the third quarter of this game. Into the middle and threw it away. They claim that Lawrence North touched it, didn't see anybody, but nonetheless it'll stay with Guerin Catholic. If you just missed the outset of the ball game, both ball clubs unbeaten. Lawrence North at 4-0, Guerin Catholic at 6-0. Had a ball club on the football field this year that went all the way to the regionals and finished the season 9-4. So their athletic programs here doing real well.
They really do. They do a nice job here at Guerin, and have for the last few years.
1.5 to go. LN's going to make a substitution. They'll put Jalen McKay back out onto the court. We talked about Kevin Easley. He has interest from IU and Purdue, IUPUI, Indiana, Purdue, Fort Wayne, Butler, Illinois, Temple, St. Louis. They're all looking at this young man. Kevin Easley, number 34.
LN in a 2-3 zone, really trying to sag in on Holba.
Baseline jumper. Nothing but green shirts inside. Here comes LN, down by 3 again. Quick in the corner, down left side. That's where they got Bacon pretty well stationed right there in that pocket down there.
Well, Lawrence North has did just a much better job of spreading the floor, moving the basketball, and have played really good basketball from quarters 2 and 3.
Here is the shot off the mark by Jarrett. Put back up, no good. Rebound ripped out of there by Holba. And here comes Guerin again. They don't have numbers on the break, but they got it inside. And the foul will come prior to the shot attempt.
Well, if you're going to go in the middle, you better go in tough. I'm telling you right now, a lot of length. I love the games where the game's played above the rim, and a lot of this game has been played up there.
You played a lot of your game above the rim, didn't you?
You know, when I changed the net, I had a ladder.
Here's the shot that's up and good by Munson. That foul, by the way, was on Jalen McKay, and that was his 4th of the game. From the line, Guerin 11 out of 14 tonight. 47-7 to go. Add 1 more to the total. They've been really good at the free throw line.
Yeah, 4 for 4 here in the third, and that's really kept them just a few points ahead of Lawrence North, and it's been the free throw shooting.
5-point ball game in favor of Guerin Catholic, the number 1 team in the state of Indiana in Class 3A. They're number 8 in the state overall in the single classification by the basketball coaches.
Guerin in a 2-3 zone.
Well, they got it inside beautifully. Good looking play that time, and up into the hands of Dion Gilbert.
Well, if you're going to beat a zone, you really do a good job moving the ball. Nobody wants to play zone forever, and you can find a little seam, and LN did just that.
Final 12 seconds, final 10 now. This is Holba out high. They dish it off in the corner. They've been very good from there. They got it again. Good-looking shot by Brian Matthews.
Oh, my.
His first points of the game, and that'll take us through 3. After 3, we'll head to the final quarter of this ball game. It's 41-36, Guerin Catholic over Lawrence North on the IHSAA Champions Network.
It's easy to buy insurance and forget about it. But the more you learn about your coverage, the more gaps you might find. Like how you thought you were covered for this.
Check it out, Mom.
When you're really only covered for this. Or how you figured you're covered for this when you're actually paying for this. You might be surprised at what's hiding in your coverage. Talk to farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
To speak with a farmer's agent in your community, call 888-96.
Well, it's been pretty much like we anticipated it was going to be when you get two quality programs, two ranked teams going after each other, and they have just readjusted the scoreboard now. It's 42-36 instead of 41-36. We were discussing that over here in our vantage point. It's 42-36 right now. Leading scorer for Lawrence North with 12 points is Antoine Cushingberry. That's about 4 points above his scoring average. For Guerin Catholic, Matt Holba, 14 points, 4 of them here in this third quarter of play.
Well, this should be an interesting fourth period. The game we talked about, we're going to get a foul here.
Yeah, it's going to be on Gilbert. That'll be 3 on Dion, who came in off the bench. Interesting situation, Jen. We're going to, in a week or so, be heading up to Noblesville for their holiday tournament. And if you look at the teams involved there as they get it inside to Holba again, no basket, and another foul on Lawrence North. Let's wait and call this. It's on 22, and that'll be Gilbert again. That'll be 4 on him. Jen, what I'm getting at is the way the brackets are made up for that holiday tournament, these two teams could be meeting again.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to be an outstanding tournament. Really a lot of good teams in that.
Looking forward to going up there for the championship game for you on a Saturday night. Here's the 3 by Munson.
Well, we talked about over 45% from three-point line. Clearly, that's been a big advantage for Guerin tonight.
That's 11 now for Kristen, one of the starters, a 6'4 junior. And it's 45-36, so from a 1-point deficit to a 9-point lead in the span of about 3.5 minutes. Lawrence North needs something good to happen offensively right now. Here's the young man, Cushingberry, who's done an awful lot of good tonight in this ball game with 12 points, as I mentioned, but he had 10 of those 12 in the first half. Holba off of the rebound. And he's going to take it coast to coast and lose it out of bounds.
Yeah, I don't think a good decision on Holba's part. He didn't have the numbers at all. What happens here, Jerry, you give up possessions. You've only got so many possessions left in this ball game. In a tight game like this, you don't want to give one away.
Lead to 9. Pete Smith not very happy on the sideline. And again, Jen, once Guerin got into this 2-3 zone defensively, they've not gone out of that for quite some time now.
Well, Lawrence North has not shot the ball tremendously well from outside. In fact, right now, Jerry, they're shooting just 35% on the night.
So what they're saying to him, we're going to make you prove you can hit them outside.
If you're going to beat us, it's not going to be inside. You got to find some way to beat us from outside. That's pretty good coaching, especially when the team's not shot real well.
9-point ball game. Here comes Cushingberry again. Now they've got it outside again, this time to Easley, only a freshman. Baseline, Bacon trying to drive. Reverse layup is a beauty.
Love the shot. Under control, back, use the rim really as a defender and put it in.
Pat Bacon with 9 points, according to my numbers. Right, that's correct. 9 points in the ball game for him. And a foul at the other end.
There's another possession that Guerin has given up. Now they've given up 2 in a row. Coach Pete Smith, and you can tell these coaches are just coaching their heart out. Every time something doesn't go quite the way they want, a big, deep breath, understandably so.
Snyder now with 4 personal fouls in this game. We're a minute 45 into the fourth and final period. LA did a terrific job getting back into the game. They scored a dozen points in that third quarter, but they still ended up down by 6.
Elliott needs to find a little run here.
And the foul's on Holba. That's his first of the game tonight.
Either team in the bonus here in the second half. That third period really with not a lot of fouls.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, that helped both teams because they were starting to add up.
Here's the three off the flange of the rim. Rebound is long into the hands of Godfrey.
Yeah, and that's the shot that Guerin wanted LN to take.
Yep.
They don't shoot the three overly well.
Awfully tempting for them to take it. And they're shooting at 34% from the three-point line is Lawrence North on the year. Here's Holba way outside, and he banked it in.
Give him an extra one off the glass. And the three-point shot's been kind to Guerin.
That's where the coach says, no. Yeah, great shot. Oh, foul called against Lawrence North. An offensive foul.
Guerin now 8 for 15 from three-point line. That's pretty good three-point shooting.
That foul was on Bacon, his first of the game. Well, time is of the essence right now. 5.5 to go here in this fourth quarter. And a change of the lineup now again for Lawrence North. Here comes Jalen McKay back onto the court. He'll replace Rob Petty.
Well, what Coach Kiefer's doing now, they've got to make some noise, and they're going to a full court 1-2-2 full court trap.
Well, they had a wide-open man on the right wing that time. Sneaking in over there was Munson. They couldn't get the ball to him where he had an uncontested layup.
Well, what Guerin does really well here is don't dribble into all that quickness of LN. And they found an opening down deep, and that's typically where the open people are.
Interesting, Jen. We thought we had a ball game. All of a sudden, if Guerin scores here, they'll equal or pass their biggest lead in the night.
Well, the three-point shot has really helped them.
Boy, I do love the way Cushingberry plays for Lawrence North. They get it inside, and this time Bacon gets the steal and a foul.
Hold's going to be called on Guerin, and there's another possession. And Coach Pete Smith knows it. He's got LN right where he wants him, and he does not want to hand him possessions.
So the foul is on Labus, number 2 on the 6'1" senior.
LN needs a good shot here, Jerry.
They certainly do. They need it to go down, too. Because they're in that twilight zone right now, down by 10 with just under 5 minutes to go in the fourth period. Here is that long-range three by Cushingberry. 15 points now for the youngster. His average is 8.2. His main job for Lawrence North is to get the ball to somebody else. He leads the team in assists with 15. And a 10-second violation called against Guerin. Boy, you don't see that very often.
No, you don't, and that's pressure by LN, and there's another possession lost by Guerin. That's 4 in this fourth period of play. About the time you thought Guerin really had this thing in hand. If LN can get something here, Jerry, we're back right in a ball game.
So here we go again. In green, Lawrence North, the Wildcats. 2 unbeaten ball clubs going after each other tonight. Pretty much the game that we had anticipated. Early on it wasn't because Guerin just owned everything, a lead by 11. Here's the three by Cushingberry again. Nothing doing this time. And Bacon rips it out of there. And it's going to be fouled. And that will be the 6th foul. The foul's going to be on Labus. That'll be the 6th foul team-wise. And the 3rd foul on Labus in this game.
You know, that's not a bad shot by Cushingberry, though. He's made 4 3-pointers tonight, and he had a nice open look. You want him to take that shot.
You don't want him thinking about it. It's there. Take the doggone thing.
Yeah, and he did.
4 minutes, 19 to go. Fourth quarter of play. Bacon gets the inbounds pass. Now sets up the offense, and there's the long-range three that's off the mark and chased down to the far side. Good effort that time by Pat Bacon. He and Ethan Jarrett. Now they come near side. This is Jarrett right here with the basketball. Now Bacon. Deep in the corner they go again. Outside high is Cushingberry, all by his lonesome. There he is. He's got to penetrate, dish it off, and they let it get away. Jarrett simply not ready for that pass.
No, it's pretty good patience by LN. Just a tough pass. They're pretty hard to be that close.
Almost a steal in the inbounds pass as they up it to Holba, and he's double-teamed, almost threw it away. Got it off deep in the corner again. This is where they've been red hot. This time an air ball.
You do not want that shot at all. That's not the shot you want. And Pete Smith, not a happy camper, and I don't blame him.
Bacon tried to drive inside, being defensed down there by Schneider. Pull-up jumper right out front, short. Ball had a wide-open look that time, did Kevin Easley. And the ball loose on the floor, still loose on the floor, picked up by Lawrence North. The shot is up and it is good.
I'll tell you, it's not because of effort, because LN's effort has been tremendous.
Bacon now with 11. Here's another steal and a foul trying to get that loose ball. It's on Labus. That'll be 4 on Matt.
Well, you just got to give all kinds of credit to Lawrence North right here. They're absolutely playing their hearts out to get back in this. Haven't shot real well, but sometimes effort can make up for a lot of sin.
Well, this has been one whale of a basketball game as we anticipated. Lawrence North is in sectional 10 this year with Warren Central, Roncalli, Cathedral, Lawrence Central, and Tech. What a sectional that's going to be. Now a substitution. Into the lineup, Brian Matthews out, Labus with that 4th foul. And Cushingberry goes to the line for the first time tonight.
Got to hit these, Jerry, if you're Lawrence North. You need these in the worst way.
I've got him down, Jan, for 16.
Yeah, that's excellent game. He's really kept Lawrence North hanging around here. Boy, we got a ball game. He hits this, it's a 3-point game. We got it.
17 now for Antoine. That's double his scoring average of 8.2. And a traveling violation. They got it into the hands of the big guy, Hova, and the defensive man was right there. He stutter-stepped and turned it over.
Well, the pressure has just been relentless by Lawrence North. If you're on the other team, Guerin, you got to take care of the basketball. Patience. I realize that's a little easier or a little harder than said sometimes when you've got the pressure that LN can put on you.
Inside 3 minutes, 4th quarter. No particular hurry. Cushingberry's got it. He's playing outside with Pat Bacon. Now Bacon sneaks down to that left corner again where he spent most of this evening. Now comes out, sets the pick high. Got to find somebody to help him out. This is McKay. Jalen McKay. 3 points in a field goal in the first period. He hasn't scored since then.
Guerin stayed in this 2-3 zone most of the second half.
They certainly have. And it's paid off for him.
It really has.
Kept him in the game, and the lead was 10 a couple of moments ago. For the lead!
How big is that? Oh, my! Bacon with a huge three!
And all of a sudden, it's a tie ball game at 48. Believe it or not, officially the first tie of the game. At the other end, they come right back and get it with Brian Matthews on the layup inside.
Under 2 minutes, Jerry.
50-48. Guerin Catholic in white with the lead. Lawrence North in the dark green uniforms. They are down by 2. They missed the layup. Inside the rebound, ripped out of there by Brian Matthews, and here comes Guerin again. No numbers on the break. Here comes big Matt Holba in traffic and stolen away. And a foul going to be called on Godfrey. That'll be 2 on him.
Jerry, Guerin's just not taking care of the basketball. Yep. You got to take care of it. You get that ball across the timeline, bring it back out, set it up. You don't need to be in a hurry. It's really cost Guerin here in this 4th period.
So here's the scenario. 1:36 to go in the ball game. Guerin Catholic has a 50-48 lead. Lawrence North will go to the line in the form of Kevin Easley, who has not been to the line in this game tonight. And he will have a chance to tie this game. On that, the 8th personal foul. A 1-and-1 in effect. Got it. Fourth point of the game for Easley.
They hit him when they need to. Not shot real well from the free throw line earlier, but those 2 were big.
Tie ball game at 50 with 1.5 minutes to go. Quickly. Stolen away again. Once again, Guerin turns it over, and he almost turned it over again, did Lawrence North. Now, what do you do here? Jan, you got 1:20 to go. You want to play for the final shot?
I would. You're on the road. Go for the win. You got nothing to lose. 1:15, a long time to hang on the ball.
Yeah, it is. It really is. I don't know. The way their offense is running, I'd be almost tempted to go ahead and run it. I figure Jack will call a timeout here with about 30 seconds or so to go here in this ball game.
Well, you want to give yourself plenty of time to get a rebound and put it back in if you can.
We talked about how both these ball clubs are really scoring powers. Not tonight. They're both at 50 with 47 seconds to go. Left side, inside, Cushingberry now swings it back out long range to Jalen McKay. McKay drives, flips it out to Cushingberry, had an open shot, turned it down. 34 seconds to go.
You got to know who the shooters are. Bacon would be your main look.
Everybody standing here at Guerin Catholic High School in the nest tonight. 25 seconds to go.
Bacon's got it.
Tech is not calling any timeout on their side. You're going to let it play right down to the wire.
Love it, baby, love it. Oh, we got timeout.
Now there's the timeout. It came a little later than I anticipated. Let's see what we got here. It's a full timeout. 15.8 to go. We'll take a quick break. Back in a moment for the final 15.8. Tied at 50 on the IHSAA Champions Network.
Are you a fan of exciting action, great sporting atmosphere, and good displays of sportsmanship?
I am definitely a fan.
High school sports, pure spirit, pure sport, pure entertainment value. Are you a fan of amazing spirit, incredible drama, and affordable ticket prices?
I'm definitely a fan.
High school sports, pure spirit, pure sport, pure entertainment value.
Well, our executive producer, Mr. Rick Vanderweilen, is the guy who, I guess, has the final say on what games we're going to do, and he's going to take all the credit for picking the best game in the state tonight.
And he should. And this has been awesome. Hey, how about this stat, Garrett? Jerry, LN has outscored Guerin 14-8 in this fourth period.
They're showing Cushingberry officially with 18 points, but you and I both agree that it's the 17 points. Anyway, doesn't matter. Down to the final 5 seconds. Here's Bacon. He's the guy they want to take the shot. Instead, he is tied up, and a held ball with 1.3, and LN will keep possession.
Little too much dribbling that time. You understand why Bacon, he was probably told getting the ball was a ball, but LN's going to take another timeout.
So we take a timeout ourselves with 1.3 seconds to go, tied at 50 on the IHSAA Champions Network.
Colts ball at their own 36.
You want a playoff atmosphere? I got you one right here.
First down, Luck out of the gun again. Andrew takes the snap. Sets up, looks. He's going to throw one way downfield. It's T.Y. He's got it! He's going to score! He's going to score! He's going to score! The Colts have tied it! Oh my God! On a 64-yard pass play from Andrew Luck to T.Y. Hilton. It's 44.
Lawrence North coaching staff checking. They got one timeout left in case they can't get it in. 1.3 to go. Will they get it inside? They may have to take the timeout. They do. Here's the floater. Off the mark. We're going to overtime. Overtime for tonight's IHSAATV.org Game of the Week. We're tied at 50. Back with the overtime session in just a moment on the IHSAA Champions Network.
It's easy to buy insurance and forget about it. But the more you learn about your coverage, the more gaps you might find. Like how you thought you were covered for this.
Check it out, Mom.
When you're really only covered for this. Or how you figured you're covered for this when you're actually paying for this. You might be surprised at what's hiding in your coverage. Talk to farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
We are farmers. Bum, ba, dum, bum, 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 bum.
To speak with a farmer's agent in your community, call 888-96.
So, let's play at least 4 more minutes.
LN 4 for 4 from the free throw line. Guerin didn't even get there, and that was a big stat really in that fourth period.
Well, Pete is going to say to himself, we got ourselves in this mess because, Jan, I thought that, and you pointed it out, Guerin got a little panicky in the final couple of minutes of this ball game.
Well, let's also give LN a lot of credit.
Oh, yeah.
Great pressure, man, quite honestly. And that's what happens. And we talked about the level of competition. Although both of these teams are undefeated, both teams have only beat one team with the winning record. So to take nothing away from the competition, it's a different level tonight.
So we're ready to go now with 4 minutes of overtime. Big Matt Holba, who did not score, by the way, in the fourth quarter, will jump. And he'll jump against number 22, Deion Gilbert for Lawrence North. We'll play 4 more minutes. If we need to, we'll keep right on keeping on.
Your heart must be made of titanium. How many of these have you called?
Oh.
I feel like I'm about to pass out every time I get one of these.
I love it, though, I'll tell you. Here is a held ball, and the possession arrow, which isn't even on down below us, is it? I don't know where it's supposed to go.
Should be possession arrow LN, I believe.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep. He's right. No. Jump ball. They got it. Arrow moves the other direction. Yep. I think that is right.
Okay, so it's Lawrence North's basketball now with the first overtime just getting underway. Big scores for Lawrence North. Antoine Cushingberry. 18 points on the night. Long range three, nothing but air.
Yeah, not a great shot for LN.
Holba comes out of there with it.
You want to get the lead, and you want to get it as quick as you can in OT, Jerry.
3.5 minutes to go in this overtime session. Just getting underway. Deep left wing, this is Labus. No shot available down there. Matthew Godfrey, now they go inside, and now back in the corner to Godfrey again. Nothing doing. Whistle and a foul, and he's going to be fouled, I believe, shooting the three-pointer. He will get 3 shots.
Yeah, that's a defensive mistake. You do not, Coach Kiefer, not happy at all with that foul. That's not a great percentage shot anyway. He was way back there, and the last thing you want to do is give him 3 more opportunities to make up for it.
We mentioned earlier, Labus, 3 out of 4 coming into the night from the free throw line, is now 1 for 3 tonight, and that free throw is his only point of the game. Not a big score, just over 5 points a game.
He just now 1 for 2 on the night from the free throw line.
Double
wow.
dip.
1 for 4. Boy, if LN gets out of this with no damage, that's huge. And they get 1 out of 3.
So the lead goes back again to Guerin Catholic by 1 slim point, 51-50, with 3:12 to go in this first overtime. Okay, let's see. Are they going into a man-to-man? I think they have, Jan, the defense for, they have. Guerin has switched from that zone into a man-to-man.
Yeah, I don't think you can hang around the zone in this OT period. You know, one of the best moves I really like in years is when they moved this OT to 5 minutes. I can remember back in the day it was 3. You got a couple possessions, it was over.
Here's the long-range 3. Nobody inside except Holba, who's averaging almost 13 rebounds a game. Try to check his rebounding stats here if we can, Jan, because he's had a ton of them tonight. And here's a reach-in foul on Kevin Easley. That'll be 2 on him.
Defensive rebounds for Holba 7 and offensive 1 for a total of 8.
There's that math coming through. I knew that was going to pay.
It was the smartphone.
So here is Holba at the line, and it is good.
Jerry, you don't think I sit around and not work on my math, do you?
Oh, I know you do. That's 18 points now for Holba.
He's a player, isn't he?
And that is the first point he has scored since the third quarter. Got them both.
Little pressure now on LN. 3 down.
2 minutes, 30 seconds to go. First overtime period of the game.
Still plenty of time for LN. You don't need to launch a 3 just to match it. You need to get a really good shot.
Two of the strong teams, 1 and 3A, Guerin Catholic, 1 and 4A, Lawrence North, that the way things are going, they're going to have to deal with them come tournament time.
Oh, that's great defense. Really moved his feet.
Almost got picked off out high. Drives to the hoop is Cushingberry. Nothing to it.
Oh, he did everything but finish.
He did. The rebound up into the hands of Munson. And just under 2 minutes to go in this game. All the way inside. They had an open look for just a moment. Did Schneider. But instead, Ellen comes out with it. There's the reverse layup that rolls out. Rebound put back up. Blocked by Homa. Mad scramble is on underneath. Pull up right out front is good by Bacon.
Boy, Bacon finishes there, and that was huge by LN. And really the difference maker is the offensive boards. LN really relentless attacking the offensive glass, Gary.
That was a madhouse inside that time. While I'm thinking about it, Jan, I meant to mention this earlier. We salute also the Lawrence North girls basketball team. They are ranked number 2 in the IBCA and the AP polls. They're playing tonight at Warren Central. And you got to figure, in looking at the tournament, they'll go through the south half of the tournament. That's Bedford, North Lawrence, Columbus North, all those really good southern teams down there. But LN's got a good program going out there in girls basketball.
Yeah, LN, year after year, has really had a solid girls program.
Well, what do you think here, big guy? With 1:37 to go in the first overtime, and Guerin Catholic up by 1. Now they've taken to a full timeout, but we'll stay right here.
Well, for Guerin's side of it, Jerry, they made it just an impossible pass down there. You've got to make good decisions on the offensive side. With not much time, you cannot give up a possession in overtime because it'll kill you.
That's what got him in trouble.
Absolutely.
Just a recap of the game. After the first quarter, it was Guerin out in front 15-5. They led by as many as 11 in the first half. Halftime, though, Lawrence North had come storming back to make it a 26-24 ball game. After 3, it was 42-36 in favor of Guerin. Then we get into overtime. In that fourth quarter, Lawrence North outscored Guerin 14-8. And we had a tie ball game at 48, a tie at 50, 2 lead changes on the night. And the lead by Lawrence North has never been more than 1 point. Here's the baseball pass up court. And it's going to go out of bounds, and nobody touched it, so it'll come back to the other end.
Well, this is not a good decision to throw. Their feet got tangled up. Honestly, I like the no call. Both of their feet got tangled up. There was no advantage on who did what. You shouldn't have thrown the ball. I realized it was a design play, but once you've seen Hoba go down, you can't throw that.
So Lawrence North will have the ball. They're mopping up the court. Get some of the perspiration off of it. I don't think anybody's left the arena yet, have they?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
What a game.
You can understand how people will say, why is there not a foul? But when you officiate, you look for intent, and it was just one of those, both people got their feet tangled up.
You'd had to call it on both of them.
Yeah, that's a great point.
A minute 35 to go. Overtime period number 1. 53-52. Guerin in white with the lead. Lawrence North defensively now trying to get inside offensively and get this lead back again. That's good defense by Lawrence North. What they've done, they've stationed Holba right in the lane. He's going to contest any kind of activity that comes inside. Minute 10 to go. Bacon, this is the guy they want taking the shot, either he or Cushingberry, because Cushingberry's had a great game. Bacon, pull-up shot is good!
Boy, he's solid in the second half, Jerry.
And the lead change for the third time in the game, and they go back to the other end. And they get the bucket from Labus. Yeah, Matt Labus getting his first field goal of the game. And the fourth lead change at the other end.
Oh, how big is that? Oh, how big is that?
Cushingberry hits the 3, and they go back on top by 2. 57-55 with 34 seconds to go, and a timeout being taken now by Guerin Catholic.
How about Cushingberry?
It's a full timeout, so we'll take it one ourselves, Jan. At 34-2, down by 2. Final seconds of overtime with the IHSAA Champions Network.
Colts ball at their own 36.
You want a playoff atmosphere? I got you one right here.
First down, Luck out of the gun again. Andrew takes the snap. Sets up, looks. He's going to throw one way downfield. It's T.Y. He's got it! He's going to score! He's going to score! He's going to score! The Colts have tied it! Oh, my God! On a 64-yard pass play from Andrew Luck to T.Y. Hilton. It's 44.
One of the things that Pete Smith's going to be concerned with, Jan, is shots on goal.
17-7. You can't score if you don't shoot. LN has had 10 more shots between the fourth period and overtime. That's a lot.
That is. 2-point ball game, 57-55, 34 seconds to go. Holba gets inside. The ball is blocked away, picked up by Lawrence North. And very quickly, the bench calls a timeout.
Well, that's wisdom coming into play there. Keeper quickly bailed out his player. He's going to take
we're going to stay right here and kind of reset this situation for you. We started the overtime session at 50 all. Now it's 57-55 in favor of Lawrence North on the big three-pointer by Antoine Cushingberry. He has had 5 of the points. They have scored 5 of the 7 they've scored in OT.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, LN's pressure, if they can pull this out, has been the difference. They've really caused Guerin to make passes and possessions and just throw the ball away, and it's clearly made the difference, especially here in the second half.
One of the guys that they might be missing to a certain degree tonight for Guerin Catholic is Cam Lindley, a 5'9 junior. Doesn't score much, but he leads the club in assists with 20. Jen, they tell me he's in Spain right now playing soccer. So that's part of what you get when you come to a smaller school. And from the fellows that I talked with said he's a pretty darn good soccer player.
Well, that's what I was told as well. And you know, I believe soccer will be his next level. And you can't blame the kid, I guess, if that's his future. And Pete Smith understands that,
sure.
You know.
Well, at a smaller school, you're going to have to share your athletes. There's just no question about it. Now let's see. Full court defensive pressure now by Guerin Catholic. And let's see what's going to happen. Jack Keeper stomping out to the 10-second line, trying to get something done offensively he wants done. He's not happy with it. They get it inside to Bacon, and Bacon's going to be, well, they're going to let him go. He threw it up court to the midcourt stripe. Now they get it inside. Going to go inside. Let's see. Is it a blocking foul? It is. And the basket will count.
And they're going to count it. Oh, my goodness. The last thing you want to do if you're Guerin, if you're going to foul him, make sure he has no hope of the basket. And they wait until it gets in the paint, foul him. And this one may just about be out of reach. We'll see.
So Easley gets the hoop. Believe it or not, his first field goal of the game. He will go to the line now.
Well, you just think back to the difficult start that LN had in this ball game, and they have just battled to get themselves back in position here to, believe it or not, pull this one out.
Easley now with 7 points. Got it. Completes the three-point play, and that might have been the death knell right there.
Yeah, LN has really hit the free throws when it counted.
You got to take it inside. It's stripped away and picked off by Lawrence North again, and another quick foul.
Well, there's no question. You've highlighted over and over and over, and we've touched on it. The quickness of the guards of LN and the pressure they have presented clearly have been the difference during this ball game.
Labus fouls out of the game, Chan. I'm just thinking ahead, and because our next telecast is going to be with the championship game of the Noblesville tournament. And when we get to that on the 30th, again, we're looking ahead. You don't want to do that. But these two teams could be playing in that championship game.
Yeah, if they get there, they're going to beat some good competition. There's some solid bowl teams in that tournament. I'm really looking forward to it. Get out to Noblesville, support that tournament. That's a great thing to see over the holidays.
And then looking on down the way on January the 17th, we're going to head down to Southport for the championship game in the Marion County Tournament. If you get a chance, they start playing that tournament on the 13th, and there's some great teams down there. Try to get down and enjoy stuff at Southport and the various schools getting up in that tournament. Here's the long-range three off the mark. Rebound Lawrence North with 12 seconds to go, and it looks like that Guerin's going to fall for the first time this year, and LN will go to 5-0 on the year. Here's the layup off the mark, no good. Knocked away by Hoba with 1.5 seconds to go.
Well, Coach Kiefer made some adjustments at halftime, and one of the big adjustments was that full court pressure, Jerry. When the full court pressure went on, if you'll remember, Guerin turned it over 3 out of 5 possessions.
So LN outscores Guerin in overtime 12-5, and thus comes away with a 62-55 win in overtime tonight. So, just quickly taking a look, Jan, at the scoring. First off for Guerin Catholic, we have Matt Holba with 19, and that's a little misleading because he had 17 of the 19 going into the fourth quarter. Did not score in the fourth, picked up a couple of points in overtime. The other double-figure scorer for Guerin Catholic was Christian Munson. He had 11. And he also did not contribute in overtime. So those are the only players in double digits. Matthew Godfrey had 9 on the night. Jan, a look at the Lawrence North Ball Club, and who can, you can't say enough about Antoine Cushingberry, a 5'9", 150-pound freshman. Take a look at his numbers tonight. He was 7 of 12 total field goals tonight with 21 points in the ball game.
Yeah, and really a big stat for me. Just let's not forget, Lawrence North really struggled from the free throw line early and ended the game 10 of 14. Free throws down the stretch was big for LN. Now for Guerin, they didn't get to the free throw line, and that was a problem for them.
Just looking on down the way here, Jan, to check the official stat sheet. Our thanks to the folks at Guerin Catholic for all their assistance tonight. 21 points officially for Antoine Cushingberry, 7 of 12 from the field, 5 of 9 from the three-point zone. And the other double-figure scorer was Pat Bacon. We had mentioned he had a terrible time getting going, did not shoot the ball well at all. 7 of 19 overall, 6 of 12 two-pointers, only 1 of 7 from the three-point zone, 3 of 5 free throws, 18 points. That is well below his 27-point-per-game average. But if you look at when those points came, Jan, he had 7 points in the fourth quarter and added 4 more in overtime.
Really, the stat of the game was the turnovers. Guerin, Jerry, turned the ball over 17 times compared to LN 6. You cannot turn the ball over 17 times against an LN ball club and have a shot to win it. So 17 turnovers for Guerin, just 6 for LN, and that's a big stat of the night.
So as we wrap things up, Jan, how does I know how Jack Keeper feels. He feels like this was a big leap for his ball club. How does Pete feel on the other side of the coin right now?
I don't think he's happy at all. They did not take care of the basketball, but you've got to give so much credit. You cannot simulate the quickness of LN gave Guerin in practice. And I really felt like coming into this ball game, neither team had played a schedule that really told them who they were. Tonight against each other, they really found out who they were. They're both very good. It just so happens turnovers, 17 of them for Guerin, clearly were their demise.
All right, and again, what we're going to be doing is take a little time off for the holidays here. And then we'll go to the Noblesville tournament, which begins on the 29th. Guerin Catholic plays New Haven at 10 that morning. Crown Point, Avon at noon. Chesterton, Noblesville at 2. Lawrence North and Columbus East at 4. Then Chandler got to turn right around and come back and play that evening. So it's going to be a matter of, okay, can we use our bench in the morning and try to get through this morning session without getting killed?
I thought LN showed that they could go pretty deep. Yep. Guerin didn't need to go quite as deep, but LN's really developing a very young team, and the bench played well tonight.
And as you heard us read that off there, you realize that these two teams, Guerin Catholic and Lawrence North, were in upper and lower halves of the bracket, so they could meet in the championship game on the 30th of December at Noblesville High School at 7 o'clock. I hope, as Dan points out, you get a chance to go up and enjoy some of the activity at Noblesville High in their holiday tournament. So again tonight, whale of a basketball game. The final score in overtime, Lawrence North 62, Guerin Catholic 55. And we hope you enjoyed our game tonight. Where are my sponsorship things here? Jan, did you take all of my notes? You took them all, didn't you? Well, anyway, we know who we are. And there we go. Our game tonight's been brought to you by the Indiana Pacers and the Indiana Fever, by the Indianapolis Colts, by Farmers Insurance, Group Auto Home and Life. Get a free quote at farmers.com. By Subway, eat fresh. By Methodist Sports Medicine, get back in the game. By Sharp Business Systems, work without limits. And by Wilson Sporting Goods, the official ball of the IHSAA. Rick Vanderweilen, our executive producer tonight. Jeff Luzatter, our director. Brent Vanderweilen running our camera, doing a super job tonight. So for Big Jan Bocher, I'm Jerry Baker saying good night from Guerin Catholic High School on the IHSAA Champions Television Network.